Whew. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How y'all doing this morning? Go ahead and do me a favor, double tap on that screen as you are coming into the room. How y'all doing this morning? How y'all doing this morning, man? It's a beautiful day to have a beautiful day, right? It's a beautiful day to have a beautiful day on this morning. Grand rising, rich rising, happy new day to each and every one of you guys on this beautiful, beautiful Tuesday. Good morning, grand rising. How y'all doing? Monica Bryant, what's going on with you? Good morning to you. How you doing this morning? Let me get us to where we supposed to be. Let me get us to where we supposed to be at this morning. Good morning, grand rising, rich rising, happy new day to each and every one of you guys, man. I'm telling you, it's a beautiful day to have a beautiful day. And guess what? We all have the power to make it that way. This day can be just the day that we need if we all put forth our best effort, right? All you got to do, honestly, is put forth your best effort. That's it. That's all. You are charged to do nothing but try, right? To put forth your best. Just try. Just try every single day. Thank you so much, Jasmine. And one thing's for sure, two things for certain is the more that you try, that when you start trying, thank you so much, Danielle, for the stars. I appreciate you. Thank you, Benny Simpson. I appreciate you. The thing about it is, once you start trying in life, right? When you start trying, now you're operating with intentionality. Once you start trying, now you are operating with intentionality. You're purposely, right, showing up in your life. You're winning now on purpose because of the work that you are putting in with meeting God halfway. And that's all he asks you to do. Hey, meet me halfway. The more that you step, the more that I'm going to pour right there in your life. Good morning, Betsy. How you doing, sweetheart? That's it. More you step, the more that I'm going to pour. I just need to make sure that you are committed. I need to make sure that you're dedicated. I need to make sure that this right here, what we're doing, that this is in fact what you want. That's what anybody want, right? This is how we do, right? If we're going to be real, about it, we have to be honest about the whole entire thing. This is why in the world they do what? They establish a 30-day to a 60-day and sometimes even 90 days, right? Contract for you in the very beginning. Why? Because they say, I need to see how this going to work out. Good morning, Kira. How you doing, baby sis? They need to know if it's going to work out. So in the world, they'll give you 3 to 6 months to see if you're going to do what you're supposed to do. 3 to 6 months to see if you really committed. 3 to 6 months to see if this is really something that's going to be beneficial to both parties. It's the same way in every single thing that we do. It's like, you know what? When you want to start your spiritual journey, and I just want anybody that's going to be real, anybody that's going to be honest, when you start out your spiritual journey, you don't start noticing really a big thing in your growth and your development until after, like maybe that first 30 days. Then you start to see it more in 60, and then in 90 days, right? You're able to see like what you're going to do, what you're not going to do, what you're slacking off in, what you need to pick up on. You start noticing all of those things within that 30 to 90 day span. I'm telling you, in that span. And this is why we break the year up in quarters. This is why we do the quarterly reports. This is why we do these things. It's because I want you guys to be able to track your own growth and development. I want you guys to be able to see how you're changing, right? How you're shifting, because you don't know that you're growing until somebody trigger you, right? You don't know. Hey, Nikki. Hi, Nicole. Nicole Easton over there. Yeah, we want to talk about, you have yourself over here on a level 10, but you ain't been around nobody. See, you have yourself over there on a level 10, and you'll be thinking that you got it all the way together, and you rocking and rolling, and you growing, and you're evolving. But the truth of the matter is, nobody ain't triggered you. Nobody have said anything to you. Nobody have, pulled you out of your zone. It's easy to be on a 10 when nothing is happening in your life. When everything is moving the way that you want it to move, and everybody is saying yes, and everything is going exactly how you want it to go, it's easy to be on a 10 right? You really know when you on a 10, when you are being tested, when you're being tried, when you're being put to the fire, when things are happening in your life. And I'm not talking about no small stuff. I'm talking about when life is out there doing its best to put knots upside your head. I'm talking about when life is going outside of its way and dragging you. Understand me? I'm talking about every single time you take 2 steps forward, the world comes and puts you like 7, 8 steps back, and you start to feel like your chest is caving in. I'm talking about every time it turn around, it's something, but somehow or another, even though all of these things are happening and happening back to back, you still getting up every day. Your energy is still the same. You still in your word. You still in your prayer. You still in your fast. You still doing all of your routines, and you're making sure that you don't miss a beat, so much so that everybody, including yourself, is like, how in the world are you maintaining? How in the world are you moving like how you moving and accomplishing things the way that you accomplishing things? Ain't no way in the world you able to do that. That right there is level 10. That is, yeah, come on. That's level 10 type of mentality right there. That's level 10 type of mentality. That's when you develop that mindset, right? The mindset of Christ. When you honestly realize, come on, level 10 ain't no joke, Tifa. That's the thing. People think it's a game, but level 10 ain't really no joke. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why a lot of people never reach that level. A lot of people never reach that level 10. They never experience that level 10. They never really get there. You got some people where it ain't much going on in your life. You ain't this, ain't nobody did that, ain't nobody did that. So yeah, it's easy for you to be on the level 10 when you have this minute stuff happening in your life, this little petty stuff that's happening in your life. But level 10, when level 10 hit, you will know. Yeah. You'll know. You'll know, right? Because your response in those situations is completely different. It don't just confuse everybody else. It also confuses you, because now you're behaving in a way that is not consistent with the you that you know. Double tap on my screen. Let me get some love. We almost at 10K. I know I just jumped right on in there, man. I wasn't live yesterday. I had a day of obedience on yesterday where God told me to rest, and that's exactly what I did. So I'm back today. And yeah, somebody really needed to put that in their nose. Understand me. The more that you, the part of you that you know. You don't know that you're growing and that you're evolving, that you're changing until you are triggered, until somebody do something to you that warrants a response from you. And whatever it is that your response is going to show you your growth and development. Whatever it is that your response is, whatever your response is to that situation is what's going to show you your growth. So if you ever want to see, am I growing? Am I evolving? Am I changing? Look at your mannerisms. It's a telltale. Look at how you respond to things that were sent to destroy your peace, that was sent to destroy your joy, that was sent to interrupt your flow, that was sent to distract you, that was sent to pull you off your square. Understand me. All you have to do is pay attention to it. And the way that you respond to that is going to let you know everything that you need to know about, am I growing or not? Is the scriptures working or not? Is the fasting working or not? Is the praying working or not? Because if you know, the old you would have went and done the absolute most, but then when it happened again to you, the new you just stood back there and shook your head at them and looked at them like they was all the way crazy. Because why are you doing all of that and you sitting over there in disgust because ain't no way that it was ever that deep that you got to do all of that? That's when you know that you're growing. That's when you know you're losing taste. See, your growth in this journey, when your growing journey right here, it's going to cause you to lose taste. Things won't taste the way that they used to taste in your mouth. Understand me. You won't be able to do what you used to do and do it comfortably because it doesn't sit well with you the way way that it used to sit well. Now it's a disgusting thing. It's a turn off thing. You look at people and you're like, oh, like, no, it's just the way you think. It's just the way you think. It's just, you know what I mean? I'm going to tell you right now, I'm one of those people, I get turned off from your face. Yeah, don't judge me. Double tap on my screen. Those that get it, gonna get it. And when I said, y'all gonna be like, oh, child, yes. Yeah. I get turned off from your face. Come on, double tap on my screen. Let me get 5 more badges over there on IG real quick. And some of you, wait a minute, Lily, because watch how me, you, and Amanda cut up when I say what I'm about to say. Right? Just hold it in the row right there, y'all. Hold it. I ain't even did nothing. I just jumped in and started talking. First and foremost, this is Morning Walk, Word, and Worship, where we get it in every single morning, starting at 8:10, from 8:10 until 9:30 with your girl, Street Poet, and the Chosen Family. This is what we do, where you get your mental win, your physical win, your spiritual win. And baby, we even got a win for your emotion, baby, because we talk about a full life over here, making sure that you're balanced, making sure that you're overflowing, making sure that you walk away from this live video and you are inspired, that you walk away from here and you're motivated. You walk away from here and you got some confirmation, and that you're walking away influenced to make some type of positive change inside of your life. This is what we do, and we do it right here every single morning, Monday through Friday, from 8:10 until 9:30. And we call this our virtual church, right? So on the right side, we got our praisers. On the left side, we got our worshipers. And in the middle, we got a blend of both. So when you come up in out here and you come up in here late, make sure you got your finger up, put that number 1 finger up on inside the chat, and you just tiptoe on in and just say, excuse me, and they're going to slide over in the virtual pew and let you go ahead and take a seat. Now, what we're talking about now is we're talking about identifying our growth and development when we start to operate with that Christ conscious, how we ourselves start to pick up on how we're not responding to things the way that we used to respond to things, right? How we start to do things that's not in alignment with our old character. And this is your response, right? How we start to do what? Do things that is not in alignment with our old character. We'll just start moving a different type of way, saying things differently, looking at things differently. Why? Because now we are a whole nother individual. And the truth be told, sometimes it takes time for us ourselves to catch up with this new individual. And what I was telling them that is that the more that you're growing, the more that you're evolving in life, don't be surprised when you start to lose taste in folk, in the way they think. What'd you say, Coach? In the way that they think. You be disgusted by the way that they think. You look at them, you like, oh my God, no. That can't, you can't be at your big old age still thinking like that. You get disgusted with some of the things that they say. You like, yo, are you serious? Like, you have absolutely no coof at all. You have no control over your tongue at all. Understand me. It ain't about biting your tongue. It's about identifying that it's a time and a place for everything, right? You know what I'm saying? Come on now, let's be real about it. Like, don't nobody have no problem with you being open. Nobody have no problem with you being honest. But what we're talking about is you should have some type of coof, right? You should have some type of it's simple etiquette at that. If you feel like that and need to say that, then you ain't got to say it like how you saying it. And you become instantly turned off by it, right? So the way that they think, the way that they speak, and even the more that you grow, the more that you evolve in this journey. I'm going to say this right here. Well, hold on, Amanda, because here you go right here. You get turned off by people's faces. Understand me. I don't like to have nobody staring me down in my face. I look up and you in my face. And when I look at you, you looking all like you unhappy with life, like you so upset, this, that, and the third. I can't stand nobody who always, I told you, Lily, who always got a look of unhappy on their face, always looking sad, always looking mad, always looking depressed, always looking left out, always looking over to the side. Like, why are you always looking how you looking? You know what I'm saying? Why are you always looking like the person that everybody got to ask, are you okay? Do you need anything? Are you okay? No, I can't stand to have them type of folk around me. I can't stand to have to look up and see those type of folk, because what's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? And majority of the time, that's all they want is somebody to constantly be like, what's wrong with you? You attention seeker. And when I say tears me up, I'm talking about tears me up. Tears me up. Because I'm the type of I don't like babysitting grown adults. I'm not finna keep on asking you, are you okay? I'm not finna keep asking you, do you need it? Oh, you all right? You all right? I'm not about to do all of that. I can tell you exactly. Come on, Nicole. And you know I feel that way because I done said it every single time, right? I done said it every single time. Fix your face. Your face is not even, your facial expression, it's not even welcoming. It's not even welcoming. You got a look on your face that make people think that you got an attitude. You got a look on your face that make people think that you are unhappy. You got a look on your face and well, it's just my resting face. But if everybody then told you that your resting face make you look so unhappy, like you so displeased and so disheveled and you all over the place, maybe you need to look in the mirror and see what it is that you're looking like. Because why I'm telling you, like it just never made much sense to me. And sometimes, and I think that there's a difference. You can tell the difference though. You can tell, come on now, you can tell the difference when it's a person who that's just their resting face. That's just how they look because the energy around that individual will still be welcoming. The energy around that individual. Good morning, cuz you can still laugh and joke and kick it with them, right? But when a person is doing it for attention, you can also tell as well, right? You can tell, like, I don't know, y'all. It's something about it that just aggravate me. And I said I was going to say something about it today. So I'm saying something about it. It's not just the way that you think and the way that you speak and your actions for me. It's also your facial expression. Your facial expression will make me want to get away from you so doggone fast because I don't, you know what I mean? I will actually separate myself all the way together from being around you because I don't want to look up and that's how you looking. I don't always want to wonder if you okay or not. I don't always want to wonder if you got a problem or not. And I don't like being around unsure energy. And when your face is giving me unsure energy, I will get on through. If your face is giving me unsure, come on, for real, friend, very much. If your face is giving me unsure, I will get on away from you. I'm not finna do that. I don't know. I'm telling you, if your face is giving me unsure, you see. Everybody laughing, everybody joking, everybody having a good time, but you sitting. Now, I'm showing y'all so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Why are you sitting here? Why you even came? If this was going to be how you was going to be sitting and looking and how you was acting, why you even came? You know what I'm saying? Why you even came? Like, start leaving that homegirl at home. Start leaving that homeboy at home. Don't even invite them out because what? Don't nobody want to deal with that. Don't nobody want to look up and see that. Don't nobody want to have that around them. I'm telling you, the more that you grow, the more you're going to start pick up on small, crazy stuff. I'm telling you, small, crazy. Friend, y'all laughing. I'm so for real, though. I'm telling you, it be the smallest stuff that get me now. And y'all gonna see how crazy that is when I say this. It be the smallest stuff that get me. And this is how you also know that you're growing and evolving. As funny as it is, it's stuff like this right here. As funny as this is, though, something that small, we would normally look over. Something that's that small that we would just not even say nothing to that person, like straight ignore that person and go on. Something that small because our spirit now is so attentive. Right? I'm telling you, I told you I was going somewhere with it. Because now our spirit is so attentive. We pay attention to everything. Right? We see everything. Nothing goes unnoticed with us once you start locking in. It's like you see everything, right? Everything. Nothing gets past you. Even things that they think you don't know, you be knowing. Nobody even really got to say much to you because you done already picked up on it. Something as minute as a person's facial expression, you looking up and seeing them, or any of that, looking around and seeing them, standing up and seeing them, you see that person, and from that point forward, I'm telling you, you pick up on it all, you sense it all, and all you do is working. The more that you're working on yourself and development, the more things are that's the word I was looking for, very insightful, very insightful. You start to pick up on every single thing. And the reason why I believe that we start to see everything like that, the more that we're working on ourselves, is because we need to know exactly how to deal with these people, either deal with them or not deal with them. Understand me? Because not dealing with them is also dealing with them, right? How to deal or not deal with these individuals. Because when you make up your mind and say, I can't deal with you, and it's not because I don't love you, but it's because of the energy that you carry. It's something about your energy. I don't know what it is right off, right? But I do know that there's something about you that I don't like. It's something about your energy, the way that the facial expressions, you know what I'm saying? The way that your body language, the way that you do is something that is not in alignment. It's not cohesive with what I got going on. Understand me? And when you start to feel that way, right, you have to bow out gracefully, right? You have to bow out gracefully. I'm not saying that you're a bad person. I'm not saying that you won't go and make some other folks a great friend group and all of that. But what I am saying is, when it comes down to me and my life and my group and my, you know what I'm saying, it ain't working for us. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay, because you don't lose value. You just lose us. There's a difference. You know what I'm saying? You just lose us, because I don't want to deal with that type of energy. You feel me? It's just I don't want to deal with that type of energy. I don't like unsure energy. I don't like unsure energy. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? It's either you know that you know and you know what you want, or you don't. That's it. That's all. And when you're operating with Christ conscious, your ability, again, to be able to see not just what's on them, but to see what's in them, right? Now you're able to pick up on things, even the smallest things. And we have to be mindful of that. You're not seeing what you're seeing by mistake. You're not seeing what you're seeing by coincidence or happenstance. Everything that God is exposing to you, He's exposing it to you to let you know, hey, create a safe distance between you and that individual, right? Hey, watch the mannerisms of that individual when that individual is around you. That may be somebody that, hey, look, wait a minute, even though they love you, you got to keep a safe distance from that individual, even though that individual is presenting themselves as this, and this. You still have to put a healthy distance in between you and that individual, right? These are things that you start to learn as you're growing and as you're evolving in life. Right? Because just because a person be smiling and grinning and doing all of that, sometimes they got the messed up intentions as well. And we also see that too. Understand me? We also see that. You can see slam through that. You can see slam through the smiles. You can see slam through the helpfulness. You can see slam through all of the always available. You can see through that as well. Understand me? Everybody don't always have great intentions. Let's just be real. And the more that I want you to know, the more that you're growing, the more that you're evolving and all of that, not only do you see the telltale signs that are physical, right? The things that's right there, like I said, on their face when you look up and you catch them. Not just those moments, or when they energy off, or they just doing too much for no reason. By doing too much, I mean just doing too much, right? Just so you can say something to them, just so you can address them, like a child, right? A child like any type of attention. And you're like, why you do all of that if you know that person is going to say something about it? Like, because I wouldn't want to hear that. I just wouldn't do it because I don't want to be, you know what I'm saying? But some adults behave like children. If we're going to be real, some adults behave like children, and they seek attention just like a child seeks attention. And they will honestly go outside of their way. So you have to be mindful of this, because God is definitely, she's my girl, talk about it. Like, yeah, you have to be cautious about this. You have to be attentive. Pay very close attention to people that simply do things to just get a response from you, to just get a rebuttal from you, just to grab your attention. Anything that they can do to make you focus on them, to make you look at them, to make you talk to them, to make you address them in any type of way, shape, or form. You better know that there's some adults that are adult children. Yeah. And they'll do anything in their power like it ain't even that deep. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, you ever looked at somebody, like, just by a show of hands inside of the chat, you ever look at somebody and you look at them and like, it ain't never even that deep. It ain't even that deep. I'm talking about adult children. Adult children, go outside your way for attention, right? Go outside of your way for your attention. Do the absolute most for your attention. Just want you to respond. Just want you to say something. Just want you to address them in some type of way, shape, or form. And they don't even know the whole time that they behave in that way. It's like the more that they behave in that way, it's like the more that you are trying to do what you're trying to make it. The more that they're doing that way, the more it make you want to get from around them. The more it make you not want to deal with them. The more it make you not even want to talk to them or even share space with them. They don't even realize how much they are turning you completely off. They thinking that it's funny. They thinking that you like it. They all of that, and the whole entire time you over there, they turn your stomach every which way but loose. You hear me, Lynn? For real. Then turn your stomach every which way but loose. And it gets to that point where you stop dealing. You stop dealing with them. You start talking to them. You stop interacting with them all the way together. And once you stop, then everybody's like, why they don't do this no more? Why they don't do that no more? It's like, you done withdrawn yourself. You done poured yourself all the way back. Why? Because this is 2025, baby. Ain't nobody got no time to be out here raising no grown adult children. Understand me? You too old at your big old age to still be out here seeking attention. You too old at your big old age to be acting like a pick-me. You too old at your big old age to be running in behind somebody, trying to do the absolute most to make that person acknowledge you, that make that person see you in any type of way, shape, or form. Understand me? And the more that you behave with that type of mentality is the more that you're going to be a person that's going to be walked all over, that you're going to be taken advantage of, that you're going to be a person that's going to get used and abused, because a narcissist, a toxic individual, understand me, these people, a manipulator, they prey on these type of folk. So when they see that you're the type of person that is desperate for attention, when they see that you're the type of person that's desperate to be seen, when they see that you're the type of person that is desperate to get a reaction from folk, and that's what you need, then that's exactly what they're going to provide. Understand me? They're going to come over there and they're going to give you all the attention in the world. Understand me? They're going to come over there smiling, skinning, and grinning and doing everything long enough to get you tied up. And once they get you tied up in that rope, then guess what happened? That's when all hell starts to break loose. This is why you have to be careful about these type of things. How you think that they spot you? They see you because they watch you. They prey on you like animals. So they see the pick me type of mentality. They see how you moving. They see what you doing. They see how you behave on a regular basis. And they say, hey, yeah, they weak-minded, really. They gullible, really. They ain't got no backbone, really. Look at them. This is how they do this and this is how they do that. No, this is why it's so important for you to adjust yourself. This is why it's so important, right, for you to know who you are and know who you are not, right? This is why it's so important for you to show up. And when you show up full armor ready. Show up full armor ready. In every single situation. Full armor ready in every situation. And some of y'all keep leaving your helmet at home. Some of y'all don't show up with your full armor. You leaving your helmet at home. Some of y'all leaving y'all breastplate at home. Some of y'all leaving that belt of truth because you can't stop lying to save your life. You leaving that at home. Some of y'all showing up and y'all ain't got but one boot on. Yeah, understand me. Y'all showing up, and when you're showing up, you're not showing up with everything. Baby, you ain't showing up with everything. Oh, baby, they shield of faith, they left that up under the bed. They slid it up under the bed and they just left it there. Faith is on the ground, baby. They over there struggling right now with faith fatigue. You're not showing up with your full armor. You're not showing up ready to go out and do work. You're not showing up that way. Understand me? And you're not showing up that way because there's still a hang up in what it is that you're doing. Understand me? When you're operating with the mindset of an attention seeker, people see it. When you're operating with the mindset of a pick-me, people see it. When you are operating with that Christ conscious, you are able to pick up on people's mannerisms, their mood swings, how they shift from one thing to the next thing. You ain't even got to be privy to the conversation that they had to know that they had a conversation concerning you. You ain't even got to be there. Understand me. When you're operating with Christ conscious, when you're operating with friends, say, yes, I'm just telling you. I'm saying all of these things so that I can explain to you what it is, the energy that you're feeling. The more that you operate with Christ conscious, when you start to feel all of these energies and you start to see all of these things happening in your life, so that you won't be distracted, so that you won't be thrown off, so that you won't think that you're crazy, that you off your stuff and you're like, wait a minute, why is this happening? Why is that happening? No, when you start to operate with that Christ conscious, again, you become very insightful. You're not only seeing what's on them, you're seeing what's in them, and you don't even have to be there when things are happening or when things are said. You don't have to be in the room. You don't have to be a part of the group or whatever that it happened in, but the moment that they come near you, you see it. You sense it. I'm going to drink the water. I'm telling you. You see it. You sense it. Why do you think that happened like that, Coach? Because God is not going to have you ignorant. God is not going to have you out here ignorant. Not at all. God is not going to have you out here ignorant. The more that you are operating with Christ conscious, the more that you're going to start to feel things that you didn't normally feel. You're going to start, come on, write these down. When you're operating with Christ conscious, hold on. That's it. Yes. Well, your friend group, Alex, the reason why your friend group started to change is for the things that I'm explaining to you right now, sweetheart. The more that you're growing and evolving in Christ, give me a second. I'm invisible. I'm talking to Alex over here. Now, the reason why your friend group started to change the more that you're growing and evolving is because you start to lose taste for people that you used to be around, right? So you start to identify the pick-me's. You start to identify the people with the unsure energy. You start to identify the people that just want attention, the attention seekers. You start to pick up on small things here, left and right, so much so that once you start growing and evolving, it's like, nah, that's not my type of people. I really don't want to be around that. I really don't want to have to deal with that. I'm not trying to babysit nobody. You know what I mean? I'm just good. And then next thing you know, you stop hanging out with those people. You stop calling those people. You stop dealing with those people, not because you don't love those people, not because you don't want the best for those people, but because when you're sharing space with those individuals, right, it's draining to you. When you're sharing space and interacting with those people, it does you a disservice. It makes you feel like, man, I could have stayed at home. It gives you that type of energy, so you start to move away from it. That's what that growth and that development does, right? So the more that you're operating with that Christ conscious, the more that you start to see things completely different. Things that you used to be cool with, you'll start to pick up on the fact that you're no longer cool with those things. You're not cool with them, you cool on them. Cool on them means I'm cool on that. I'm good, I don't need that, right? You go from being cool with it to being cool on it. When you're operating with Christ conscious, you start to lose taste for certain things. Things that you used to be cool with, you are now cool on. I'm cool on that. You know what I'm saying? And even for people who may have been one of those people that are very much relationship oriented. Hold on, cuz, let me say this right here. Now watch this part right here. Yeah, let me just say this. People that were very much relationship oriented. Don't think y'all got off. I was talking about friends. Now let me talk about this relationship real quick. Okay. Now let me get in that relationship real quick, right? Those of you that's in a hurry to be in a relationship, just want somebody to love you, want somebody to lay up on the other side of your bed, want somebody to be smiling and grinning in your face, and you just want somebody so bad because you know that you are a wife, you are a husband, you ain't meant to be single, and you just listen and you just spent all of your years running after people. Spent all of these years running after people, trying to be in a relationship, trying to deal with relationship after relationship after relationship, and it keep what? Fail. It keeps failing. And you're like, why in the world do I keep failing when it comes down to relationship? How is it that I keep picking the wrong people? How is it that I keep ending up in the same situation? How is it that I keep having to cry the same exact tears? How is it I have to keep going through the same exact thing over and over in a relationship? Why in the world do I keep going through this? And you keep going through this because at the moment when you were picking relationships, you was picking relationships over God. Come on. Yeah, see, you had it confused. You had it flip-flop, right? So you were more concerned about your relationship than you were with your relationship with God. You were more concerned about who you was going to lay up with, who you was going to be couples goal with, and you were not concerned about the relationship that you had with God. So as long as you were out there and you picking relationship after relationship, the reason why that relationship kept failing is because you kept entangling yourself with folk that really wasn't your folk, but you could not see that they weren't your folk because you were not operating with that Christ conscious. Operating with that Christ conscious give you what? The ability to see what's on them and what's in them. If you're not operating with Christ conscious, then you're going to always be picking what's not for you because you can't see. Come on! You can't see the way that you're supposed to see. So you can't see beyond the smoke in the mirror. You can't see beyond the finesse. You can't see beyond what's right there, right? You can't see it clearly. So you find yourself in a cycle. When you're operating with Christ conscious, it gives you the ability to see. That's a note. Put it in your notes. Operating with Christ, it gives you the ability to see. When you're operating with Christ conscious and your main focus is making sure that every single day that you wake up, that you're locking in with him, that you got that strong prayer life, you got that strong worship life, that you're doing everything that you need to be doing, including your meditation, and you're locking in with God every single day and you telling him, I want you to lead my life. Thank you so much, Shay Shay. I want you to lead my life. I don't want to do nothing that you don't want me to do. Understand me. I don't want to be with nobody, entangled with nobody that you don't want me to be entangled with me. Show me the way. Understand me. When you're not operating with that type of mindset, then guess what you're doing? You're going out and you're selecting people based on your preference, and your preference and God's purpose is not the same. When you are out here and you're selecting people without operating within that Christ conscious, then you're selecting people based on your preference. You're not selecting people based on your purpose. So you select people that look good or dress nice or smell a certain type of way. Whatever it is that you like, whatever it is that you want, that's what you select. Even though you're selecting these folks that are actually kryptonite. Understand me? They're kryptonite to your assignment. Understand me? Those things, they damages your assignment. They stagnate your assignment. They separate you from your assignment. They pull you all the way out of alignment. When you're operating within yourself, then what happens is you select your friends based on your preference, your mate based on your preference, your job based on your preference. You go for what you prefer. But when you're operating, come on. Somebody's like, oh, wait. Yeah, I know. Relax your toes. I know I'm on them a little bit, but come on. Let's be real about it. It's like, dang, that made too much sense. And I didn't know she was going there. Give me a second. When we select people based on our preference. When you're not operating with Christ conscious, you select people that's based on what you like. When you're operating with Christ conscious and you're putting God before every single thing that you do, you will find yourself, pay attention, you will find yourself being friends with somebody that you never even saw yourself being friends with. You will find yourself in a relationship with somebody and they ain't even your type. They ain't even your build. They ain't even a height that you like. Understand me? Wait a minute, but it's something about that individual that is so intriguing. intriguing to you. It's something about that individual that I want to know more about you. I want to know why you do what you do. And you want to spend time with them. You want to share space with them. You want to get to know more about that person. And that person is not even somebody you would have even looked at twice. But all of a sudden, when you start your growth journey, right? You start your growth journey, your healing journey. You're not concerned about the look of an individual. You're concerned about what's in the heart of that individual, right? You're intrigued with the heart of that individual. When you see people, you see the beauty of Christ in those individuals. Christ conscious changes the way that you see. I'm still on C. Christ conscious changes the way that you see. Oh, yeah. Does this person support my higher self? Is this person in alignment with my assignment? You start to see it different. And even when everybody else looking at you and they're like, wait a minute, what are you doing? What? You looking at them and you shaking your head like, had the best time ever, enjoyed my whole entire self. Baby, treat me like a whole queen out here. Baby, I'm talking about living my best life. You ever date somebody and everybody trying to tell you why you shouldn't be dating that individual, or y'all don't even look good together and this and that. We have all this different stuff to say about you and who you dating and what y'all got going on. But they single and miserable, can't find nobody to save their life, always being lied to, always being cheated on, always being drugged through the mud. Why would I take advice from you? Why would, yeah, wait a minute. Okay, well, coach, you good. Okay, well, I'm leaving that. Okay, I'm leaving it. Don't worry about it. I'm going to leave that alone. That ain't got nothing. That's not in here. That's not in these. I'm leaving that alone. I'm leaving that alone, but I'm just telling you, yeah, sometimes you just got to watch out for folk, right? Because misery loves company. Misery loves company. And if your people is miserable and what they got going on in their life, they will, I'm telling you, they will go outside of their way to bring some company on in. And they'll find something wrong with your relationship. They'll find something wrong with your person. And here you are living your best life and you got everything that you need. But then they want, come on, you got watch who you taking advice from. All right. So operating with that Christ conscious, it does what? It changes the way that you see. Operating with Christ conscious also changes the way that you hear. First thing should be see. Second thing should be what you hear. Christ conscious, when you're operating with your Christ conscious, put it in your notes, Christina, it changes how you see. The second thing is it does what? It changes what you hear. It changes how you hear things. It changes how you hear. Operating with Christ conscious change the way that you hear. Oh my God. Bamboo Shop 88. I appreciate you. Yeah, come on. It changed the way that you hear. You could be in the same environment with everybody when the conversation was had and everybody is chit-chatting and all of them, they heard one thing and you heard something completely different. You heard something that everybody else did not hear. And I ain't trying to spook you, but I need for you to know that everything that we do is spiritual. Every single thing that we do is spiritual. Do me a favor, double tap on the screen real quick. Tap in. She says, wow, come on, I'm going to put it out there. So if you sensitive, if you one of them sensitive people and you don't want to hear the truth, take your finger real quick, put it on the screen and slide up. Go to another video, because what I'm going to say is definitely for the people that actually read the word, that trust the word, that lean in the word. And if you're not one of those people, this going to go all the way over your head and it might piss you off or any of that. Just go ahead. That's my disclaimer. Just go ahead and slide up, because I'm going to say something. And when I say this to you, some of y'all going to take off running in the virtual church. Some of y'all going to lose it. All right. So now y'all going to do a lot. So I want to get them out of here before they get scared. Everybody don't know how we carry on every single morning. Right. So I need for you to understand that when you're operating with that Christ conscious, it changes the way that you see, but it also changes the way that you hear. See, when you see things, you see it. That means that it's right there in your face. It's tangible. You're able to touch it and everything, but it's a different type of ball game, right? This is really in the spiritual realm right here. Thank you so much, Sheila Davis, for the Cash App. This right here is really in the spiritual realm. When you're sitting in a room with folk and you hear what is not being said, you understand what it is that they're saying, but you also also hear what is not being said. Understand me? And while everybody is right there and they like, oh my God, and they having this conversation, you are quiet, you are withdrawn, because yeah, you heard what they said, but you also heard what they did not say. We're talking spiritual. Oh yeah. Because see, people do this right here. We're talking spiritual. We're talking spirit of discernment talk right now. We're talking spiritual discernment talk right now. Because see, people will say one thing with their mouth, but their heart is saying something completely different. And when you're operating with that level of Christ conscious, right, then you perform, right, the same type of miracle that Christ was performing, right? In Luke 5, when he spoke to the people, thank you, Terrence Jones, for the Cash App. When he spoke to the Pharisees over there in Luke 5, he spoke to them out loud with what he heard in the spirit. Oh, my. Oh, come on. Come on. He don't have me over here dissecting these pages like this with y'all for nothing. He did not. Come on, where y'all at? We look at Candace Bash. Come on, Ashley, say, wait a minute, that's deep. Think about it. I just want you to sit in there for a second. For everybody who have experienced that and you thought you was crazy, you thought that you was crazy. And now that we're talking about it this morning, you're like, yo, that's what I was saying. Shay, thank you so much for the Cash App. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's not always what people say. Understand me, when you're operating with that Christ conscious, when you are in alliance with the Most High, when you are studying that word, trusting that word, inside of that word on a regular basis, Leola, do you feel me? This is what happens. You not only hear what they say, but you also hear what they don't say. Pretty Nisi, what I'm talking about is over in Luke 5. In Luke 5, when Jesus spoke to the Pharisees, he did not speak to them concerning what they said out loud. He spoke to them concerning what they were saying in their hearts. He heard what they didn't say out loud. Oh, yeah. Come on. He heard what they didn't say out loud. When you're operating with that Christ conscious, right? When you're operating with Christ conscious, it gives you the ability, because I want you guys to understand this, right? It gives you that ability to be able to hear what's not being said. You hear what they're saying, but you also hear what they're not saying as well, because of your level of, and you know what I'm saying, your attentiveness. You're so locked in. Again, remember what I said, when you're operating with Christ conscious, you don't miss nothing. You don't miss nothing. In a room that is filled with people that are all waiting on the miracle to be performed, in a room full of folk that's all over here, right? So crowded that they done pulled the roof off of the place, right? Here he is, and you mean to tell me he still heard what their heart was saying? Yeah, that part. Thank you, Lynn. I appreciate that badge. Let me get 4 more badges over on IG. Double tap on my screen. Can we get up to 1,000 on the stars real quick on Facebook? Double tap on this screen. We at 108. Get us up to 200K over here on TikTok. Let's get to 200K. Y'all go ahead, double tap on my screen. Send me some love real quick. If it's tight but it's right. Yeah, I know some people like, man, I got to sit in there for a second. Double tap on my screen real quick. Send me some love. Send me some love on all 3 platforms. I love y'all. Thank you, Pretty Nisi. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Yes, appreciate you, Carter. Thank you so much, Miss B. I appreciate you. Thank you, Ashley. Love you, love you, love you. Thank you so much, Linda Bailey. I appreciate that love that's coming. Is it Aspen? Aspen, I appreciate you so much, man. Thank y'all so much. I see that love is rolling in over there. Miss D, I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Danielle, for them stars. I see you. Good morning to you, Coach. Love you over there, man. Let's go, Miss Hickman. I appreciate that badge. Let's get it. Danielle White tapping in. Okay. Is it Cole? Cole, Isha, I appreciate you. Mocha? I'm going with Mocha. Because Mocha Latte. I think it's Mocha Latte. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, C. Thank you, Anissa. I appreciate you, Nicole Eason. Thank you so much. Understand me. Takesha Hodges, what's up with you? What's up with you? Shay, thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. Miss Driver, thank you over there. Lily, I got some love coming from Lily. Slay, I got that love coming from Slay, man. Let's get into it. Miss Love, I appreciate you over there. Thank y'all. Amanda Andrews, I appreciate you. Yeah. Come on, get into it. Let's get into it. Thank you, Nina. Thank you, Diamond. I appreciate it, man. Listen, Roberta, I appreciate y'all. I have to stop and get some love because I be stopping. I be going through the, man, listen, I got out of the habit of it. Appreciate you so much, Liz Brown. I appreciate you. Let me get into this real quick. So when Jesus spoke to the people, he spoke to their heart. He spoke to the things that they did not say out loud. This is who he was speaking to. He started speaking to their heart. In a room full of folk, he still heard what was not being said. For those of you who don't know what happened in that moment, the Pharisees was questioning, right? If he had the authority to be able to forgive sins. He says the Pharisees in their heart says, wait a minute, only God has the ability to forgive people's sins, not acknowledging the fact that this is the Son of Man. Understand me, this is the Son of Man. We are what? The sons and the daughters of man. This is who we are. And what did the Son of Man tell each and every one of us? I've done great works, but you're going to do greaters. He let us know right then and there that what I'm doing, I'm not going to be the only one that's able to do it. The only difference between us and him is what? This is why I kicked the folks that was going to be sensitive. This is why I kicked them out. Everybody don't like this type of conversation. He let us know that y'all going to do everything that I'm able to do except for bring folk to the Father. He says the only way that you can get through the Father is by me. Understand me. The only way that you're going to get to the Father is by me. But everything else, we are all privy to the same power. Understand me. The same authority. We have that. But we as a people have gotten away from that. We as a people, we don't trust in ourselves and our abilities. We as a people, we don't see ourselves the same way that Christ saw us. Christ saw us and said that you're more than a conqueror, that you're more than capable, that you're more than able. He saw us and he saw us full of power. He saw us and said that everything that you need to be able to succeed in this world, you already have. It's already right there in you. Matter of fact, he goes on to say, I've already conquered this world. Understand me? So if that's what's dwelling inside of you and you're operating with his mindset, that means that you've already conquered this world. This is just a replay. This is just when you're playing a video game and you have to reset it. You're just going back through the game. That's just a replay because he's already conquered it. So if you study me, and you study my mannerisms, if you study who and what I was in the earth, then the same exact things that I did are the same exact things that you go and you do, and I promise you a victorious outcome. Understand me? What you say, Coach? When you're operating with Christ conscious, then you're operating with the mindset of Christ. So when he confirms in the scriptures that I've already conquered this world, if you're following the playbook, then that's exactly what you're going to do as well. When he's talking to the Pharisees, he's like, hey, why do you think this in your heart? This is how we know that operating with Christ conscious not only changes how we see, but it also changes how we hear. We hear what's said, but we also hear what's not being said, right? And this is the reason why some of us would have those times when we know that we heard something in the spiritual realm. We know that we heard it in the spiritual realm. And in the spiritual realm, it was loud as all get out for us. We know that we dreamed about something, and what that was in that dream was another way of us envisioning what was about to happen in that moment. And we know what we heard, we know what we saw even in that dream, and then you give it a couple of weeks and sometimes even a month, then that very thing that you heard when everybody was standing right there it is, it manifested, there it is happening right there, and you looking and saying, I told you. I knew that was going to happen. I knew that was going to be said. I knew that was going to be a thing. I knew that was going to be a problem. It was, I knew that's what it was going to be. When it was all, come on, how many of y'all done said, when it was all said and done? Who didn't have one of them when it was all said and done? I knew by the time it was all said and done that it was going to be this or it was going to be that. You ain't say nothing to nobody about what you heard. You ain't say nothing to nobody about what you dreamed. You ain't say nothing to nobody about what you knew that it was going to be. You just sat back and you watched it. And the moment that it happened, you said, I knew that that was going to be a problem. I knew eventually that this was going to be this because I saw it. I saw it. I sensed it. I just knew that that's what it was going to be. I'm telling you. And you understand that right there, that is spiritual awareness. They never gave you a name for it. I'm giving you a name for it. That is spiritual awareness right there. That's when you start acknowledging things in the spiritual realm. You start acknowledging what it is that you feel. You start acknowledging when the mood changes. You start acknowledging when you're hearing certain things. You start acknowledging the way that you see things, right? This is what it's like to operate with that level of spiritual awareness. It's one thing to have awareness in the physical and see how people behave and see what people do and see how people show up and see how people love. But there's another awareness, which is a spiritual awareness that we also have to operate with as well. A lot of us think that because we are naturally aware that we are aware. I'm so aware. I see how people act and I do this and I see how people act and I do that. But your spiritual awareness is just as important as your physical awareness. And I tell you guys this all the time. These things have got to run parallel. Your physical life is not more important than your spiritual life. Your spiritual life have to be right there together. So to say, oh, I'm too busy to pray is saying that I want to live a life that is not full, that I'm too busy to fast. That's saying that I'm too busy to live a life that is not full. To say that I'm too busy to have a relationship with God, that I just can't get into that right now. I can't commit to that right now. Life is so hard right now. I'm going through too much right now. I just don't have it in me to be trying to do this and trying to do that and then having to do this, and it just do too much over there. Understand me, every single time that you come up with an excuse as to why you cannot do the right thing in the spirit is every single time that you give the enemy permission, right? You're signing a permission slip with the enemy to say that I am participating in my own demise. Yeah, come on. Friends say, ouch. Yeah. That's tight, but it's right there. That's tight, but it's right there. Every single time that you come up with an excuse, I'm going to say it one more time for the folks in the balcony, right? I see y'all standing up. I get it. Yeah, that's a stand-up moment right there. That's a stand-up moment. I see y'all, my church folks, they rocking it like, oh my God. Listen, every single time that you come up with an excuse for why you can't do what you need to do to make sure that your spiritual health is in tip-top shape, to make sure that you're able to live a full life, to make sure that you have an intimate relationship with God, that should be a priority in your life. And every single time that you come up with an excuse as to why you can't fast, you can't pray, you can't study, you can't meditate, you can't show up for God, every single time that you do that, I want you to understand that you might as well pull out your piece of paper, you might as well have got your ink pen, put it in between your fingers, and you might as well sign that permission slip and pass it right on over to the adversary and say that I signed to participate in my own demise. I do realize that it's not you that's destroying me. I do realize that you are not the reason why I'm distracted. I do realize that you're not the reason why I'm going down this dark hole. I do realize that I am in fact self-sabotaging, that I am creating excuses for why I can't get better. I realize that I'm prioritizing everything on top of my spiritual life. So when I'm not living a life that is full, it's not because I'm being attacked by the enemy. When I'm not living a life that is full, that is balanced, that's in tip-top shape, I can no longer say that it's the enemy's fault that I'm living that way. I have to take full responsibility. I have to take full accountability. I have to take full ownership of the fact that I signed the contract, right, to participate in my demise. Because the enemy can't do to you what you don't allow. Hey, come on. What'd you say, Coach? Because the enemy can't do to you what you don't allow. You have to be, excuse me. Dry throat. You have to be a willing participant. You have to be a willing participant. There's nothing happening to you that you're not participating in. Well, Coach, that's kind of deep right there, man. Wait a minute. You like, wait a minute. I would have much rather you. I wanted you to read the iPad. Don't do what you're doing this morning. Read the iPad, cause every time that you just get something dropped in your spirit like this, then you end up tearing us up. All you have to do, read the iPad. Read the iPad. No. You need to know that the enemy can't do nothing to you that you don't allow. That whatever it is that you're going through right now in your life, whatever it is that you're dealing with right now in your life, you have to know, right? You have to know that this right here, this is all on you, right? I can't read my notes because this is what's given to me this morning. This is what we're dealing with this morning. We have a lot of people that are at a level right now, and we're about to be in the 6th month of 2025. We're about to walk into the 6th month. Understand me? And you still making excuses. The same excuses that you had in November of 2024 is now the same excuses that you got, and we over here about to be in the 6th month of 2025. When are you going to say enough is enough? When are you going to stop crying over spilled milk? When are you going to stop talking about what happened 30, 40, 50 years ago and say, I got to suck this up. I got to pick myself up. I got to dust myself off, because if I don't, I am going to become unalive in this same state. I'm going to become unalive in this same state. And I know that that's so real. That's so raw. But I promise you, I can't sugarcoat it for you any more than that. When you have all of this information, when you got Google, when you got the different Bibles, when you got the different self-help books, when you got motivational, inspirational speakers that's popping up all over the place, when you got folks creating Patreon pages and accounts just so that you can help have a Bible study, so that you can learn how to pray and be in a group of prayer warriors. Understand me? What other stuff do you need? What else do you need? I'll tell you what you need. We need you to get serious about you now. We need you to stop making excuses for your behavior and start correcting your behavior. We need for you to get serious about what it is that you want out of your life. Understand me? There's no cheating, right? Let's be real. You don't cheat me. When you don't do what you're supposed to do, you ain't cheating me. You ain't cheating me. My job is to give the assignment. My job is to put the fast out there. My job is to make sure the notes is out there. My job is to show up and allow God to use me how he see fit, to give a word to his people. How his people receive his word, how his people apply his word, that's all up to you. You ain't answering to me. Now, do I do my part as a coach to try to keep you on the right path? Sure. Do I do my job as a coach to create different times where we can lock in so I can keep you motivated, inspired to continue your journey, to do what you need? Of course. But I can't do it for you. I can't do it for you. I can't want it more for you. I can't do the work for you. All I can do is give it to you. But what I will say is this. Your level of life is going to be based on the work that you put in. Your level of life is going to be based on the work that you put in. You're about to walk into the 6th month of this year. How you finish this year, it's going to be all left up to you. How you complete this year, it's going to be all left up to you. And I'm going to tell you what's about to happen. Some of y'all going to get caught with your skirt up. Yeah. See, you can tell what you're doing, how you're doing, based on your fruit. That's why it says you're known by the fruit that you bear, based on your fruit. Because ain't no way you're still going through the same thing. Ain't no way you're still talking about the same thing. Ain't no way that that's still the same struggle. Not when you're putting in that type of work. Not when you're putting in that level of dedication and commitment. Not when you are going, no. It won't do that. Why? Because we know that this word is transformative. We know that you can't even take in this word subconsciously. I'm about to be real with you real quick. Babe, you can't even take in this word, the word of God. You can't even take it in subconsciously and not change. Understand me. You can't even take it in subconsciously and not change. Come on, Jacqueline. Let's double tap on the screen. What are you saying to me, coach? I know this because I know and I have experienced. I have had conversations with people who were not involved in the class, right? Wasn't involved in my class, but they're in the same room of the person that's in the class. So they're hearing everything that's coming off of the iPad, off the phone, off the TV, whatever it is that person in that home is playing the videos on, they hear it all throughout the house. And even though they are not in class with that individual, they being impacted by that word. They coming by and they talking about that word. They can tell you what was happening in that word. And the moment that you don't do what you're supposed to do, that person that's not in class but just overhearing what was said in class will check you. Ain't y'all supposed to be doing this and that? Don't y'all supposed to be on the fast? Wait a minute, didn't your coach say whoop de whoop? You didn't even know they was paying attention. You didn't even know it was going on. The word be so impactful. It's so impactful and it's transformative. Even if you're not into what's actually happening, you ain't even got to be paying no attention to it. But if you there, subconsciously, that person that's in that environment when that word is going forth, they ain't even got to be paying attention. They ain't even got to be in the class. But they can be going through something in their own day. And all of a sudden, this is how powerful that word is. This is how powerful that word is, even in your unconscious state, right? Even in your unconscious state, you hear that word. And all of a sudden, right? Again, when you're operating with Christ conscious, it does what? It gives you the ability to hear. So even though you were unconscious to what was going on, you still heard what was being said. So even though you're now in a bad situation in your own life, and what happens is that thing come back to your remembrance. And you're like, man, they was having class and they had said such and such, such and such. All of a sudden, you find yourself applying what was said. And you wasn't even in it. So if it has that type of effect to somebody that's not in it, think about the effect that it'll have on a person that actually is in it. That's actually following through. That's working the assignments, that's taking the notes, applying the notes to their life, that's actively seeking his face on a regular basis and doing their part to develop that intimate relationship with him. Baby, that's unstoppable. That's more than a conqueror. That's what that is when you start to experience it. Operating with Christ conscious, it changes the way, one, that you see things. It changes the way, two, the way that you hear things. You hear things differently. Thank you so much, Candace Bash. I appreciate you, sweetheart. And the next thing is, it changes your conversations as well. When you're it changes the conversations as well. And I've told you guys this before. The more that you start deep diving into that word, the more that you start processing that word, you will go from gossip to gospel real quick. Like, understand me, somebody can be sitting over there gossiping about somebody, downing somebody, talking all kind of trash about somebody, and then here you go with a scripture. Then here you go over here with some inspirational, something motivational. Here you go over there talking about ways to uplift them, ways to help them out. You will go from gossip to gospel, and you will do it real quick. When you are operating with that Christ conscious, it changes the way that you see. It changes the way that you hear, and it also changes the way that you speak. Understand me, every single single time, you start to watch your tongue on levels that you ain't never watched your tongue on before. When you start operating with Christ conscious, you start watching your tongue. When you know that your tongue is sharp, when you know that you can get everybody together just like that, when you know that you can checkmate everybody that's in the room, you look at the room and you say, you know what, I ain't even. Ain't even. Operating with Christ conscious does what? The way you see, these your notes, the way you hear, the way you speak. It's like, wait a minute. She said, wait a minute, that's deep. Watch what I say. Watch this right here. When you're operating with that Christ conscious, right? You're operating with a bridle tongue, right? It's bridle tongue. When you start asking God to bridle your tongue, you're operating with now a sense of knowing when to speak and when to be quiet, right? Operating with Christ conscious, right, is knowing when to speak and when to be quiet. Why? Because you have to know that there's some people that don't want to hear the truth, that don't want to receive the truth, that don't want to be bothered by the truth. And the moment that you start to expose them to the truth is the moment that you start to create what looks like, right? What looks like a big old confrontation. And now y'all going back and forth and you looking like the aggressor. You looking like the mean person in it because of your passion for wanting them to know the right. But when a person is convinced on living in it and wrong and doing what is wrong, then there's nothing that you can do about that, right? So when we're operating with Christ conscious, we know when to speak and when to be quiet. We know when to give the word and put it out there by simply reading the room. This is why I say operating with Christ conscious changes the way that you see. It changes the way that you hear, because when you walk into an environment based on what you see in the spiritual realm in that environment, the posture of the folks that's in that room, the facial expressions, like I said, that's the reason why I spoke on facial expressions. When you're able to walk into that room and you feel the love and the energy and the welcomeness inside of that room, that's one thing. The other thing is when you're in the room and people are having conversation, you hear what they're talking about in that room, and now the tone has been set for you to deliver. Now the tone has been set for you to deliver. Because if you go into it, right, and here you are, and you're operating with a tongue that is not bridle, then it causes more chaos than anything. When you are operating with a tongue that is not bridle, and you just go at, you're causing more chaos than anything. You're causing more chaos than anything. This is why, right? And most people are going to deem you as the problem. And this is the reason why when Jesus saw people, because you got to have scripture so people can understand. This is why when Jesus saw people that did not believe, he did not bother. This is why when Jesus ran into folk that did not believe, he did not bother. I ain't here to force you to believe anything. I'm not even about to do it. I'm not forcing you to do nothing. But the man that's sitting next to you who happens to be a believer, that's right, Christina, he left them alone. Understand me. This is how you have to do this. When you're operating with a tongue that is not bridle, then you create chaos, right? That's a note for somebody. I need y'all to make sure of that, right? That's a note for somebody. He did not try to convince them. That's right, Anne-Marie. Period. He did not. So when you're operating with a tongue that is not bridle, you create chaos. You have to know how to read the room. Every environment is not your environment. And Christ was a great example of showing us this. When people did not believe, he simply left them where he did not bother. If they did not believe, he did not bother. Your two B's is believe and bothered. When they did not believe, he did not bother. When they did not believe, he did not bother. I'm going to wait on y'all. Double tap on my screen. I want to see that believe and bother. Understand me? Believe and bother. When they did not believe, he did not bother. He went right on about his business. There you go. There you go, Rashad. There you go, Christina. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. Is it Desiree? Desiree, appreciate you. I see you, Tifa. Let's go, friend Chatty. There you go. I see it in the chat now. Black Empress, let's go. Put it in the chat. Come on, Jackie. I see you. There you go, cuz. Let's go. What's up, Michelle Sims? I see you got it in your chat. Let's go. There you go. Lovely eyes. Let's go with. Let's put it in there. Put it in there. Put it in there. Reason why I'm wanting you guys to put it inside the notes is because when you write it out yourself, then you is able to embed it here. I want it inside of your mind. When they did not believe, he did not bother. Well, why do you say that, coach? Because it would be people together. People that's all right there together. And you could be sitting one on the left and one on the right. If the one on the right was the one that believed, that was the one that received the miracle. That was the one that received the blessing. Or the one on the left, they was just left. The one on the left was just simply left. He never forced himself on anybody. He never went outside of his way to try to make folk believe something that they did not want to believe. And because that's a waste of time. That's a waste of energy. You have got to believe and be willing to accept this thing yourself, right? Even when he went to his hometown, and we always talk about that, right? When he went to his hometown, they said, hey, he was only able to do a few miracles there. Why? Because of their lack of belief. When they saw him as the carpenter's son. Understand me? So they knew that they didn't need anything fixed inside of their house. They knew that they didn't need anything carved out or anything like that. So they saw him as worthless. Can you imagine having the Son of Man, the one that is able to give sight to the blind, that's able to open up the ear canal, to give hearing to those who are hearing impaired, to unmute, right? To loose a person's tongue, to give them the speech that they needed to communicate. The person that had the ability, understand me, to take a man that was paralyzed and stand him up to his feet and tell him to take up your bed and walk. The Son of Man, the same one, understand me, that said, I have the power to forgive sins. And because you don't believe, when he was speaking to the Pharisees, he says, because of what you thought in your heart, understand me, let me show you. He showed them right there. Can you imagine having the Son of Man right there with you? Come on, imagine this. Imagine this real quick. Put yourself in a whole little get up, right? Put your sandals on, all of that. Put yourself in a whole little get up and put yourself out there, wrap your head up and everything like how they was walking around. This is what I want you to do. Wrap it up. Use your imagination. Imagine you and all of us, 453 of us on here, 71 on here, 97 on here, all of us, about 700 total. All of us, we out here and we are in the middle of the desert. Let's just say we in the desert and we all wrapped up just like how they was back in the day. We all got our sandals on, right? And we are walking out there. And what we did not know was the person that was among us was the Son of Man, right? And we out here and we just walking with him, just walking willy-nilly, all of that, just willy-nilly right there. And we stop, and every time we stop, he healing somebody. Every time we stop, he delivering somebody. Every time we stop, he doing this and we doing that, and we just walking with him. We just walking with him. Come on, just walk. You just walking with him, just walking with him, just walking with him. Can you imagine walking with him every day and you got hurt in your heart and you never asked him to fix the hurt that's in your heart? That you got all this betrayal that's all over you, this abandonment issues, this mommy issues, these daddy issues, all of this hurt and all this pain, and it's built up all in the inside of you, and you walking with him and you never open up your mouth and get the healing that you need, the deliverance that you need. You never get set free because you just walking with him, and because you see him as your homeboy Jesus, because y'all been walking together. You see him as the Jesus that you played with in the sandbox Jesus. You don't even see him as the Son of Man because he's been amongst you. He's been walking with you. He's been sharing space with you. He's been eating with you. He's been doing all of this with you because he's been with you for so long. Now, all of a sudden, he starts to lose value with you because he's been with you. So now, when you see him as the carpenter's son. You don't see him as the Son of Man, even though he's worked all these miracles, even though he's done all of these things. It's like because he's been with you, then now you're like, oh my God, well, I ain't finna ask him for that. I'm cool over here. I'm just, yeah, come on. We're walking. You in the hometown. And all they see him as is a carpenter's son. So he wasn't able to do the miracles that he was doing all over the place because all they saw was the carpenter's son. They couldn't get past the fact that he was a carpenter's son. They were stuck there. That's what we live. That's what we experience every single day when we don't utilize God the way that we're supposed to utilize God. When we don't wake up every single day and work on our relationship with him, it's just like we're walking right there with him, the same person that have the power and the authority to fix our life, to put us in position, to jump us from the back to the front. It's like we're walking alongside of him, but never opening up our mouth, never asking. And one of the scriptures I gave in devotion, it said, you haven't asked me for anything up until this point. Up until this point, you ain't even opened up your mouth. And it says, those who, if you don't ask, if you don't say anything, then what you want me to do? How can I fix what you don't bring to me? Understand me? How can I address what you don't bring to me? You ain't asked me for nothing up until this point. Like what we got going on here. I got all this power. I got all this authority. I'm able to do exceedingly and abundantly more than you can ask or think. Don't stop walking. We're still walking. We're draped out in our garments and everything. And I want you to really imagine yourself walking with him. You're walking with him. And while you're walking with him, I want you to ask yourself real wholeheartedly, am I asking God to do the things that I need him to do in my life? Ask yourself honestly, am I utilizing God the way that I'm supposed to be utilizing God in my life? Am I showing up and allowing God to dictate, to give the instructions of how I should be living my life? Am I just walking beside him but not using him? Am I just walking beside him getting all my steps in but I'm not doing anything, right, to get healed, to get delivered, to get set free? Are you just walking for exercise? Are you just walking for exercise? Or are you walking to get free? Are you walking to get exercise, or are you walking to get free? Are you walking to get delivered? Are you walking to get healed? Are you walking to break the generational curses? Are you walking, understand me, to remove all the every single thing, canceling every single thing that the enemy has sent to destroy you and everything and everybody that's connected to you? You need to ask yourself, why is it that I'm walking and not asking, walking and not utilizing, walking and not really actively trying to change? Because if you still doing the same thing that you was doing before, check your walk out. Check your walk. And especially if you can do it comfortably. Especially if you can do it comfortably. It's some folks in your life that you're not going to be comfortable doing certain things around those individuals because of the God that you see in those individuals. It's certain people that surround you, right? That you won't be able to really speak how you normally speak and do what you normally do when that person is around, because the level of God that you see in that individual is the level of respect that you have for that individual. And even if everybody else is doing it, you're not about to do it. Nah, I don't see how y'all able to do that. I can't get that. You know what I'm saying? I can't get with that. Like, I ain't that. And trust me, I know, right? Because I got some folks in my chosen family that act the same exact way. I got some folks in my chosen family, it's things that they say and they do when I'm not around that I know that they do when I'm not around. You know what I'm saying? When I'm around, I don't hear it. I don't see it. But when I'm not around, I know that it goes on, right? And it's the level of respect. It's not a level of fear. It ain't that you scared, ain't that you scared of me. It's I got respect for you. I have respect for you. I don't see you I got respect for you. So I'm not going to carry on the way that I would carry on if I was in the presence of my homies and we was just out doing whatever. I don't do that when I'm around you because of the level of respect that I have for you. Right? So when I show up and I'm representing you, I watch my mannerisms. I watch how I do this. I watch how I do that because I know that I'm representing you. And I want to make sure that I represent you in a good light. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure that when I show up and these folks know that I'm your people, that I'm attached to you, that all they see is greatness all the way across the board. Understand me? And this is what I'm saying. When we're doing it and we're doing it with our leaders and our teachers, our ministers. Because a lot of us, I've seen this my whole life in church as well. With Bishop and all of them, right? With Bishop and everybody in this. And you see it and you laugh, right? You see it and you laugh because it is funny. But it's also a beautiful thing when you're able to see the level of respect that your people have for you. Right? And it's because it's like, one, you know that you're doing the job that you're supposed to be doing, one. And two, you know that Christ is being seen. You know that Christ is being seen because we as a people, we going to let you know quick, fast, and hurry. Hey, I ain't scared of nobody but God. I ain't tightened up for nobody but God. So when people do behave in a way where they get right when you're around, it's not because of you. It's because of the God that they see in you. They are respecting the Christ that is dwelling on the inside of you, right? The leadership of you. So it's completely different. It's a different thing. And when I experience that, it always blows my mind because I used to look at Bishop and I used to laugh all the time, like how we were with Bishop, right? How we was with Bishop. I was young, y'all. I was a kid, but how we was with Bishop. And I'm now able to see that even in my own life. And I think that it is so funny. And, and it's just one of those things where you have to, the same level of respect and everything, right? When you're walking with certain people, you have to know this. It's the same thing as walking with Christ. It's the same exact thing when you're walking with Christ. Those people are only instruments being used by Christ. But think about the fact that we are to create our own spiritual journey with Christ ourselves. We're to have our own relationship with Christ ourselves, our own intimate relationship. So even when you ain't walking with Coach in that moment, you're supposed to be walking with Christ. And you know what I'm saying? Even when you're walking right there with him. You're following his direction. You're following his lead. You're following whatever it is, and you have to do that whether you're with me or not with me. You have to work to make sure that the behavior that you have in this season is the behavior that you have over here as well. And that's what I want you guys to be more conscious of, right? Conscious of as we continue to grow on this journey. I don't want you to have the code switch. I don't want you to have the code switch. I want you to be your true, authentic self. I want you to be so wrapped up in your word and your growth journey. I want you to know I want you to be so wrapped up in your word and in your growth journey that whether I'm there or not, you still this person, you still over there not gossiping, but in the gospel, that you still over there being a witness, that you still walking around in tip-top shape. I want you to be the person that you are in front of me. I want you to be that person when I'm not there as well. Anybody that has ever shared space with me, they gonna tell you just that. Oh no, she the same person all the time. She the same person all the time. She got a word that she gonna give, right? Everything is gonna be a teachable moment. When you with her, that's what it's gonna be. She gonna laugh and she gonna joke and she gonna cut up. But at the same time, it's still the same. It's still the same person. Anybody that have ever shared space with me, They know this. This is my cousin right here, y'all. This is my cousin. Like, I didn't grow up with cousin. And she's talking about, yes, she is. And it blows my mind because all of my cousins all say the same thing. Like, these people are only witnessing now the person that we've seen, that we've experienced our whole entire life. So when I told them about my installment, nobody was shocked. Everybody was just excited. I got a bunch of excited cousins right now, right? Because it's like, no, even my brothers, nobody is shocked because I've always been this person. Right? Always been this person. It's just who I am. I'm going to talk junk. I'm going to talk junk. I'm going to get you together and all of that. And it's still going to be all in love. It's still going to be all in love. And I can't wait, for you guys to see and really experience what that is like, man. Like I'm telling you, it's almost like you're taking that mask off and not having to be one person by day and then another person at night. When you're operating with this mindset, you're that person all the time. You're never being caught with your helmet at home. You're never being caught with your breastplate slid up under your bed. You're never being caught running out there, you know what I'm saying, and you ain't got your shield of faith. You ain't got number one shoe on. You know what I mean? Yet you're always fully loaded and always ready to go. Always TTG, always trained to go. And that's what our mission is, right? Our mission, even with our study of Christ conscious, is getting you guys to see the importance of operating with this mindset 24/8. 24/8 is getting you guys, thank you so much, Amanda, I appreciate those stars. It's getting you guys to understand the power of operating with this Christ conscious 24/8. Every single day, every moment of your day, in every situation that you encounter, no matter what it is, it's always God first. God first, God first, God first. You're going to save yourself a lot of headache, a lot of heartache, a lot of pain, a lot of tears cried, and everything other in that when you start to operate with God first. Because if you lead it, the damage is on you. If you're following what you want to do, that damage, that's on you. The consequences are yours. Because it don't take but a second. Breathe. Get in alignment. Then take off. It don't take but a second. But every single time that you come up with an excuse, every single time that you come up with an excuse of why you can't do it, why you can't do this, why you can't do that, you're signing a permission slip with the adversary to say that you are a willing participant in your demise. Because he can't do to you what you don't allow. You have to be willing. But if you learn how to put God first in everything, including your conversations, then you're going to see something different. All right? Every single day that you wake up and you put 10 toes to the ground, I want you to sweat yourself. Tell yourself how beautiful you are and how much you love you. Because there's no love like self-love. And you first have got to love yourself way before you're able to love anybody else. It is your favorite online motivational speaker and life coach. It is your girl, Street Poet. I love you guys. I got some sessions that I got to get into this morning. So I love you guys. And we are going to have prayer call today. Prayer call today will be at 1 p.m. Prayer call today will be at 1 p.m. We normally do it at 12. I got some sessions and I want to make sure that I'm not rushing through everything. So I will have prayer call today, Patreon only. Inside the Patreon, if you're not in my Patreon, make sure you go get signed up for it. So prayer call will be at 1 p.m. 1 p.m. today, we will have prayer call inside of the Patreon. The link is in my bio for anybody who wants to become a part of the chosen family. That link is in my bio. Click that link tree, stroll down to where it says mental health support group and get signed up expeditiously. Get signed up expeditiously. We have devotion every single morning. We have prayer call every Tuesday, Thursday. We have Bible study we also have it's Bible study / mental health support group as well. So we have our self-help books that we're reading, and we also do all of that as well. Yeah, listen, I have had a time, friend. I have been having a time. I think I was trying to like sneak up with something, and then I had to get it back right. So now I'm getting back right. So yeah, I just had a time. I don't know. But yes, I want to make sure that you guys know about the Patreon so you guys can get subscribed to it expeditiously. Get up in there if you want to get around the right type of group, the right type of family. It is a blessing. You know, we're about to go into our new book. We got our final chapter is what we're going to be going over in our old book on Thursday, and then next week we will be getting into our new book, and I'm super excited. Friend talking about Patreon is church. You know what? Sometime it is. Sometime it really is, because you never know. We do whatever God says do. We let him move. We let him have his way in inside that group all the time, man. Do me a favor, double tap on that screen if you got a word this morning. If you got a word this morning, if it blessed your soul, go ahead and double tap on that screen. Man, let me get some love over here on Facebook. Can I get some love? He says, happy terrific Tuesday. Happy new. Thank you. Appreciate that. I ain't heard terrific Tuesday in a long time. They used to say that all the time when Josh was in school. Used to be the little header on his thing for Tuesday. It was always terrific Tuesday. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you so much, Diamond. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Always God's agenda. Good morning to you, Inspiring Queen. How you doing? Say, where does it's on my Patreon. If you click the link that's in my bio, it says Linktree Street. Stroll down to where it says Mental Health Support Group. Select that. Select the $15 tier. Select that tier, and once you get in, you'll see we have a 24-hour group chat. We have prayer call every Tuesday, Thursday, and we have Bible study on Thursdays. I'm talking about Sundays. We have Bible study on Thursdays, every Thursday from 7 to 8. 7 to 8 on Thursdays, but right now we're doing it at 6 because we've been doing a 6 o'clock check-in. But once you get inside, we'll explain everything to you, so you'll be good to go. The Patreon for Bible study, for prayer call, for the 24-hour chat is inside my bio. Click where it says Linktree Street. Stroll down to where it says Mental Health Support Group. Select that and then get enrolled right now, like it's never too late. Friends say I will be there. Thank you. No problem. Welcome. We welcoming all kind of new people this week. What's going on, Danielle White? I appreciate that love. Thank you so much, man. Well, you guys have an amazing day. I'm gonna get up out of here. I love y'all, so I can go to work. I got to get to work. I had me a day off yesterday. Today I got to get it, so I'm about to get back into work right now. I love you guys. Y'all be good.